You know what I mean? But I don't know. Early signs that you are kind of dead, or like signs you're dead pretty much early is you dread Sunday nights. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just kind of do things you're like passionate about, things that you just I don't know, just really care about. You know what I mean? Like I used to be way more materialistic than I am right now. Like sure, like I'm rocking like a fake chain right now, a backwards hat, decently work out. You know what I mean? But I've just kind of switched things over to kind of doing things that I really enjoy doing and working just to provide for the things I like doing. You know what I mean? I don't really care about the flashy cars, all that shiny stuff. You know what I mean? Like I do love something I do want to mention though. I do really like fashion in a sense. Like I like how it looks. Like when I was super young, I was into I was really into like designing jerseys. Just like basketball jerseys, hockey jerseys, specifically hockey jerseys. I'd go on to I forget what program I used, but this was early on. I was maybe like 15 or something like that, and I would do some kind of like Photoshop editing thing and just make these different hockey jerseys and just different designs and stuff like that. So I've always been really into fashion and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people just surrender their routine. You know what I mean? And they abandon their childlike curiosities. You know what I mean? So, for an example, I really enjoy making YouTube videos, editing YouTube videos. I love freestyling. I'm not the best rapper by any means, but when I was younger, I used to be. I was probably a few years after. Um, it was a year after I graduated high school. I was super influenced by the whole SoundCloud generation, like artists like like Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, Trippie Redd, all those guys, and I started making music. I was just super into music, you know what I mean? So I started like recording. I was not good at all, man. I was not good at all, but I just really enjoyed it, and it was like a passion of mine. So I tried to keep up with my childhood curiosities. I definitely did have a time where I for sure gave that up. For sure gave it up. That's long story short, you know what I mean? Um, I was super convinced that I was gonna become a rapper. I ended up moving away, following one of my homies to a different city to become a rapper. And I was rapping for years on end. I would probably record like so many songs a day. I'm talking like eight to 10 songs a day. This is like right before I moved. And none of the songs were really good. Like I remember sending Snapchats of me just like vibing out to music and just like vibing out to my own music, thinking I was super fired because I was like, yo, I put this whole time into crafting the song and making it super dope. But like it was just like when I show them in person, you can just tell their face. They're like, yeah, this music ain't it. It's pretty trash. You know what I mean? So when I ended up moving to that place, finally started showing my music to other artists and stuff like that. They just ended up trashing it. They just ended up trashing it. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucked. And I ended up stopped making music. You know what I mean? Became more of like the social media guy and stuff like that. And that was just like a huge, big regret of mine, was losing the curiosity of I don't know, childlike curiosity from childhood and stuff like that. That's a big part of it. So that's something I've really tried to bring back into my life is, just childlike curiosity and throwing away other people's expectations. You know what I mean? That's something I'm really working on right now is just throwing away other people's expectations, and that's just a huge one that really beneficial for growth and just having fun. Because like right now, like I said before, I was talking about I really enjoy freestyling. Yeah, we're going back to that. I really enjoy freestyling. At least once a week or every 2 weeks, we'll just start freestyling for like hours on end and just keep going and going. And it's the funnest thing to me, just freestyling. Like I just really enjoy it. I love it. Super fun. It's like addicting as well. And you're just kind of like in a interesting flow state. You know what I mean? Like you're in a, you almost summon like a spiritual pocket because you're just in such a flow state. You don't even really know what you're saying. You know what I mean? You don't actually know what you're saying, but like you're just like down to just like let it out. You know what I mean, man? Um, and it just feels good. It just feels really, really good freestyling, and that's something that I'm glad I was able to kind of pick up again. You know what I mean? And even right now, I'm in a flow state. I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But like I was saying before, I don't know. I like doing things that make me feel really creative. Another one that's doing like YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Just talking to the camera, the editing process, the process of it getting 0 views to it getting potentially 1,000 views. You know what I mean? I'm really obsessed with that. I run a few other channels where I do editing, kind of like a documentary style video. You know what I mean? And it's super fun. You know what I mean? The whole process of it. I have a few short channels where I just edit videos and post it. You know what I mean? You'll probably never see it. Maybe I'll show it one day if this channel ever gets popping. But it just, I don't know. People just throw away their creativity and then they dread Sunday mornings. You know what I mean? They absolutely dread it. They're like, fuck, man. I hate everything I'm doing. They come home from work, have like a drink, and they're maybe with someone they don't actually care about. I don't know, just kind of do what you want to do, what feels right for you. You know what I mean? And it's still a process because I don't even fully know yet. I'm still learning, but something that always makes me feel like I achieved something in a positive way that makes me not want to just like go off the deep end is definitely creativity. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna stick with that forever. If that's like freestyling, editing videos. I don't really care if it doesn't make money. You know what I mean? I have like a job that does make me money and stuff like that. But I think it's such a key. It's a key thing to be able to still have your childhood curiosity. You know what I mean? And that's art, and that's another thing I want to do. I want to start doing some like some more arty